Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Anastashkina and today I'm going to teach you how to use wafer paper in different ways and how to make this cookie toppers or cupcake toppers using wafer paper. We'll talk about using silver leaf or gold leaf, how to make this marble effect on your fondant. So it is going to be very informative, I hope, tutorial. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and let's begin. I will need a few pieces of wafer paper in different shades and colors. So for the start, let's do the, I think, silver leaf. I have a few sheets of silver leaf and I'll show you how to apply this to your wafer paper. And I'll put a link down below for what I'm using. So to use wafer paper for your cake decorations and to apply gold leaf or silver leaf, you can use edible one. Obviously, if you're working on a client's cake, you need to use an edible one. But if you want to make your cake decor, for example, for display purposes, like I have here in my studio, you can definitely buy a craft grade of gold leaf or silver leaf. For the display purposes, if now nobody is going to eat this, I think it does not matter much. Let me grab a large brush. You can see I have a relatively thick brush and I'll take a little bit of piping gel, because piping gel won't melt your wafer paper, but it will make it relatively sticky. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to apply thin layer of piping gel, as thin as possible, to attach my silver leaf. It is extremely dry here today. You can see my wafer paper is exploding. So I have thin layer of piping gel on my wafer paper and gently transfer this to my piece of wafer paper. Like that. And hold your breath, because it will fly everywhere. Gently tap. I'll put it aside. And if you want your wafer paper to dry flat, like I have here, it's a little bit curly, you can put something heavier or like relatively flat and let it dry like this. So I will put it aside underneath my stacks of wafer paper. And to color my wafer paper, I'm going to use my favorite way of doing this. And to color my wafer paper, I'm going to use the easiest way I found to do this, is to use a little spray bottle. And I'm going to mix a little bit of airbrush color. This is airbrush maroon color. You can use gel color if you'd like to. It doesn't matter. I'm going to take just one drop of food grade glycerin, because I want to dilute it with alcohol just to make it faster to dry. But you can use my AC conditioner recipe, or you can use just water or lemon extract. It's up to you. If I need to make something faster, or I need to color my wafer paper faster, I would use alcohol, because it evaporates much faster. And for this application, we are not going to shape it the regular way, so we are not going to vein it. That's why alcohol is totally fine to use. Let's spray. See, yeah, the colors, you can see how bright is that. And you can do this on both sides, so you can apply this color to both sides of your wafer paper, or if you want to make it even more cohesive and like the even color, you can spray, wait for a few seconds for wafer paper to dry and for the alcohol to evaporate, and then you can spray again. So you can see it's already, you can handle this no problem. And I love all these splotches and all these differences in colors, because that's what makes it interesting. I'll put it aside to dry for a second, and let's talk about coloring fondant and working with making our cupcake toppers. I'm using satinized fondant just because that's what I have on hand, and my fondant is a little bit too dry because I want to be able to have a little bit more texture than just smooth and beautiful fondant. So I'm going to take a small piece of fondant, pink gel color, because I want to add a little bit of pink. So this is Dusty Rose by Americolor. I'm pretty much okay with the color combinations. I can see a few of the spots. I'm going to take a little bit of this edible glitter flakes and cornstarch. So I'm applying just a touch of cornstarch, a little bit of this glitter flakes to make it sparkly. And I'm going to roll it out to make my cupcake toppers or cookie toppers. So you can see all the textures, and I just used a little bit of gel color dabbed on my fondant, and now I can cut my pieces. This side is a little bit brighter, so I'll take this one. And you can obviously manipulate your fondant. For me, this part is a little bit too bright, so I'm going to check other side is nice. Put a little bit more of this flakes to make it sparkly. And because we are doing the Valentine's Day style, so hearts, love, wafer paper, sign me up. So now I have my cupcake toppers. You can obviously do as much as you want. Let's check on our wafer paper. So now what I'm going to do, because that's the most precious piece I have, I'm going to cut a few shapes. Not a few, it's going to be the same shape, but a few variations. So I know that my silver leaf is about this size, and I wanted to make maybe 4 hearts. I have a template here. This is just basic template, but I will create a proper one, and I will put a link down below if you want to download one for your needs. And I think I'm going to do this size. Wafer paper with my silver leaf. Let's see if I can stack and cut a few more at the same time. Like that. And let's do the same with the other colors of wafer paper. And when you're working with wafer paper and your wafer paper is already dry, like I have here, you can stack up to 3 layers and cut at the same time to save time. Few of this. And usually I tell you to save your wafer paper scrub to make wafer paper glue, but because these are pre-colored pieces, I usually do not save them, because I do need to make a pre-colored wafer paper glue, if that makes any sense. So for the silver leafed one, I'm not going to do anything because it's so fragile. But for this ones, what I can do, if you want to add extra shape and a little bit of movement, I'm going to place them upside down on my floral pot. So my colored side and my face side are going to be down, because I wanted to make it like a little bit 3-dimensional, if I can say so. And I'll take my ball tool and gently press here on the sides. But gently, because I know that my wafer paper is a little bit too dry for this application. If you have the air mister, you can put a little bit of moisture, but only if you're in a really dry climate like I am today, just to make sure that my wafer paper is still flexible. And now I'm going to turn this front way, take my Dresden tool and press it down in the middle lightly to shape it. So you can see that this heart is a little bit more dimensional than just flat. And I'll take my cupcake toppers, a little bit of piping gel. When I'm working with wafer paper, usually I prefer to use my wafer paper glue because I like how it makes things to fit together and it's just easier. But when I'm making something like a cookie or attaching my wafer paper pieces to fondant, I prefer to use piping gel because piping gel won't melt wafer paper, and it makes so much easier to apply a little bit of piping gel and assemble our decorations. So I'm going to apply a touch of piping gel on the back side of my hearts and press them on my cupcake topper. And you don't need much, you can use white wafer paper, you can make your wafer paper in any color you want, but you're just placing a few wafer paper hearts here and there, and it's already looking like a beautiful decor, I think so. So what you can do is play around and arrange your wafer paper decorations on your cookies. So you can make your decorations dimensional and like multi-layered. So you can see in no time basically you can make different types of decorations to apply on your cake, or make a cupcake topper like we have here, or cookie topper, and I would just leave it to dry for maybe an hour or so. Thank you so much for joining me this week for another tutorial. I hope now you have some inspiration for your Valentine's Day cakes or cookie or cupcakes. And today we made this cupcake or cookie toppers, and I hope you like it. Don't forget to subscribe and give me a like if you like this tutorial, because it takes time to create these demonstrations. I'll see you next week, same time, same place. My name is Anastashkina. Bye-bye.